Here we are again, back to the riveting edition of me riding through the woods. It's funny, if you look at the videos I did for Jericho, New Hampshire, wait, I did that wrong, Berlin, New Hampshire, Jericho Mountains. It's funny because I mentioned that in one of the videos, and then I'm looking at the descriptions, and one of them is literally titled Jericho, New Hampshire, so a lot of good it did me to remember that. But, oh, there we go. I should have a small electrical shock device and shock myself every time I say or When I do it, it seems fine. But then when I listen to it back, I sound like a real idiot. I wanted to do it there. It's so hard not to do. Try it sometime. Record yourself, and your family and friends will think that you're mentally doing wonderfully. All the bridges that we encountered at this place, I was not super confident that I was going to go over it entirely with my bike. I thought at one point my front tire might sink in, or my back tire. If I had a preference, I'd take my back tire, because I think that's going to lead to less catastrophic, possibly catastrophic injuries. Nice little hilly bit. Look at the KLX charging up in. If you haven't watched any of our other riveting videos, this is a 2022 KLX 300R. Few aftermarket parts on it, although my exhaust is not on it, because I heard they are quite tickety up in New Hampshire. So really love all the states that, well, New Hampshire's pretty good about it, but many states do not let you have any fun. And I think my loud bike is fun, and loud pipes save lives, so ripping through the mud here. Just on a YouTube note, one thing I just want to promise to any of our now potential or future or in the past viewers, say 2 years from now, somebody's watching this, I will never, and I mean never, do a video that has jump cuts, that has a lot of cuts, that cuts to a SpongeBob gif about something stupid in the video, that cuts to like a scene from Family Guy. I'm just never going to do that for a couple reasons. I'll tell you why. A, I absolutely hate it. I absolutely hate it. So you're never going to see like the SpongeBob thing where it goes a few moments later. Never going to see that in one of my videos. Man, that thing fucking sucks. Also with like the random like jump cuts, I know that people my age and younger, they have the attention spans of house flies, and it has their dopamine receptors have been absolutely zapped. They look like if you threw an egg in a frying pan and left it there on high for 45 minutes. I get that, but it doesn't matter, because one of the many altruistic and really charitable things we're looking to do here on this channel is to restore the integrity of your dopamine receptors. So that's what I'm doing by not putting in those cuts. The second reason that I won't do them is because, although I'm getting better at it, I'm not great at video editing, and I like to do the most minimal amount of editing possible. It's really pretty straightforward. Sometimes I watch videos. There's a channel in here called Popo Medic, if you've never checked him out, that has some of the most incredible editing for any YouTube channel. It's really, really nicely done. I'm never going to do that. I'll be honest with myself. I think a lot of these people are people with like video production backgrounds, or they went to school for this stuff, or I didn't go to school for any of this shit. So I will not be doing that. But I really do hate that style of editing where it like jumps around, and it's like, because it's stuff that interests me, and it's like, are you making this for people my age, or like 13-year-olds? I don't really know what your target audience is here. Anywho, we're going to talk about dirt bikes at some point. I think I mentioned dirt bikes at some point. What I was going to say at the beginning, is that I did a decent job of naming the trails that I'm riding on at the much more expansive Jericho Mountain Trail System in Berlin, New Hampshire. Nailed it. But here, I don't, none of these trails mean anything to me, because at Jericho Mountain, Berlin, New Hampshire, I really got to know the trails. I really understood what I was doing. End up knowing the trails like the back of my hand. Here, I did not. We were here riding for one day. I don't know what any of these trails are. They could all be interchangeable. There's only like 4 of them. That's why it's funny. Another thing that I've noticed that I do when I listen to these back is I get about halfway through a thought, and then I jump to the next one. And then I'm about halfway through that thought, and I jump to the next one. Which could be good if you don't find anything I say interesting, or it could be bad if you are interested in what I was going to say. But I'm looking at the viewer counts now. 169 as it stands for Pit Way, which is, there we go, and 80 views otherwise for Overlook Trail and Top Peak of Jericho Mountain. So, hopefully you can watch this in the future and look back and go, wow, boy have they had more views since then. But anyways, not many people are watching it, but they will. The people are going to find this, and this is going to blow up. I'm going to have a loyal following of possibly insane people who just like my ramblings. Talking to myself again. It's not important. It's never really important. You watch them like Top Gear, and they're being entertaining. Well, admittedly, driving a car is easier to be entertaining. Well, look at that. Admittedly, yeah, driving a car is easier to talk to a camera than riding a dirt bike. Just from an audio sort of perspective, I think. There's other reasons.
Well, I could go up into second gear.
Yeah, go into second gear there, bud.
There's rocks for days.
I completely lost my train of thought. That's probably not good. I could edit that out, but I'm looking at this view count. Our 80 we've been alive. People find it charming.
Oh, yes.
Every time I come out of voiceover and go back into the video and just listen to the audio, although I don't think the audio is good enough to really pick up everything I'm saying, you can hear me make so many effort noises like I am doing the hardest thing in the world. But it's funny because you look at the video and another bridge where you go, this one's not. Alright, stand correctly, that was a decent looking bridge. But you look at me riding through this, and you see the noises I'm making or I'm breathing heavily, and I gotta imagine it's like if somebody were tying their shoes and just like, oh man, alright, we're gonna get through this. It's just a lot of noises. I'd like to try and be quiet, but that would ruin my fun while I'm doing it. I'm not gonna do that for you guys.
Oh, I learned my lesson with these.
Yes, that I did. I don't have footage of that. But I went to go at Jericho Mountain in Berlin, New Hampshire. There was this little place off to the side, and it had this big like loop around that was all sand. We've talked about sand. But it was like a complete circle, but it was really steep. And I don't know if I've mentioned it on here, but I'm not the most skillful rider. And so about 3/4 of the way through, the bike lost momentum, and after I injured my ankle on the first day, I had fallen on it the day after that, and this would have been falling on it for the third time, or falling on it for the second time since I got injured, in 2 subsequent days. So what I did is I was about 3/4 of the way around, bike loses all momentum, and if I fall with it, say I keep my legs to the side of the bike and I fall down with it, I am going to drop pretty far, maybe like 6 feet. Doesn't sound far, but to land on your side with a 300-pound bike on top of you, it's kind of a lot. So, using my sometimes cat-like reflexes, off those little sections, I like jumped up, let the bike fall, and then I fell on it. I had a big bruise on my thigh, but it was better than the bike landing. I'd rather land on the bike, I guess is what I'm saying. And I did. So that worked out. And then there I learned my lesson, and I stayed much lower on it. So I was able to not have to use my sometimes cat-like reflexes. Alright. Back to the video. largely yes. If there's really big ones, or it's deep, or it could be deep enough where it's hiding a rock, and I might get halfway through and hit that. I don't go through the center, but a lot of times I do, just because I think mud is fun, and I have a dirt bike, and I want to ride it and get it dirty, and I don't really give a shit. I know there's better lines to pick. One fun thing I thought about doing was, instead of being self-deprecating and honest with you, and humble about my riding ability, I thought it'd be fun to sort of narrate this as if I'm the most skilled rider ever to sit on a dirt bike. I think that would be pretty sweet. Probably generate a few more comments and people getting really pissed off being like, "You're not good at riding. What do you mean this is good riding?" So that might be fun. I might do a video like that. Keep an eye out for that. Now that I'm saying it out loud, it's really materializing and taking shape. It has a form. It has texture. I'm beginning to be able to sense it with several of my 5 senses. I like the idea of it more, so I might do that. Coming to the end here, we're getting back in the parking lot. One thing I didn't promise you earlier is not to do those titles in all caps. And just because I'll tell you what, I bought a 6-pack of those mini cans of full sugar Coca-Cola, and I've had about 5 of them, and I'm not going to stop. So I'm in a pretty froggy mood here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give this a really annoying title, like the extra rugged trails at Hopkinton Everett Park, New Hampshire. I think I'm going to go with extra rugged in capital letters. And that's what I'm going to call this. And I swear to God, if this video does way better than the other ones, I will silently let part of myself die, because that is what it's going to extract from me as a cost. And then a lot of my titles are going to be like that. So that's annoying, I get it, but I'll do that if it gets more views. Because gosh darn it, this needs to go on